Good evening. Baba GYASO Jumedia were live on OK 101.7 FM. GYASO Jumedia and a Vim Lady AFIA POKUAA new production team. That's Nasia. I did Media no Ebron. Kai say Monday and Wednesday you may be it's Nasia a GYASO live and colored. Free Sabreya Kwakusi non kono thereabouts. That just say and Komona Ebebo about Ghana. Na yebema on summer air trendy and national issues enye concern and comfort social media nchuchu ni YouTube na omo edie no hade ye national issues nko a ti ade no enye ade come no mienu ye tax etua ma aban ene say the aban use tax na it doesn't warrant our attention because asema final obi da ade obekwa kwa enu ade me have always told you say it's none of our business because Ghana obi anyini obi anya akra odi 18 years they have a right to do what they want. In fact odi 16 years they have a right to give consent to whatever. What you say? This issue is trending. Uti gave one asema LGBTQ plus office on that issue is very much trending. I'm a national security for hijacking office man. Now almost all investigation. In fact, if you're on say or didn't because LGBTQ plus of one, or breach tenancy agreement. Adaya, man can't change said the Omode by no. Enti a woman's almost to your man, dear, but they are canning in our old Ede amom which say a trend wo baby now LGBT assembly I come assembly this week Monday your interviews is one of the things that Ghana for bebre I am very loud about it. Kali Bishop Conference so many ade na kasa so many organizations akasa and one more LGBTQ plus for no and one more so support you Yera William Nyako Asila office one more executive secretary eba abonte be ka say at the end the Ghana for enya de ombeja to mu aja to mu china but Obi also need right so okobu obi say so your gate yabono. So that issue is trending pa nkofo bebre conversation e honum. Obeka say enu aba akokra ro ye presenter host e wo TV so kra so aba abonti aba beka say ote abrochire. O say ote Ghana ha nyina kra no a journalist but oyebia. It shows you say LGBTQ plus assembly there are so many people wearing say they used to kind of say mpateku bebre ho. Now so many people are pretending say omo straight but omo shadanye straight and the verdict is out there me de we nyina na yesu kas ye mani nyini it's up to you and them wow peno ye wade ye me na mba beji afa na Ghana taxes kra no ye monitor nwie yi na me beja Ghana taxes ho asem na no me koto kanea ECG kanea yi bi ye to ye friend saying VAT 12.5% ye to get fund levy I think that's 2.5%. Yasan to NHIL. What you say? These are the bread and butter issues. I mean, hear me. These are the bread and butter issues. Mo amote you be one more tia broche we did ya men there, but okra wo tia broche no. Life enye better mouse because usika no send the brow mame. O wa fa ase, unue bi wo Ghana, sa taxes ya make nyina tetew. Ya beteto. As long as the money is being received in Ghana, ya beteto. And you must be as concerned about Ghana as Obia tie. What you say? And tu na do na ade otu na so onkasa ba Ghana rose. Onkasa ba Ghana kania. Onkasa ba Ghana de no bi so be kasa ampa cho man send message me kasa and ankasa dodo. It's up to you. What you say? It's up to you. Ya bo anu ma obia. The only difference is that they on microphone. By any credit social media man ba be emre. If you think you want to scream about Ghana, go on social media and scream. Member be page because why are you not talking about it now? One then. So that's the thing. That issue is trending. Who do you apply to me cause support it? Or person to me reject you whichever way you want. You can do whatever you want. Government had the COVID-19 about no na kofo bebre so comment am saying. Na Ghana a country to say Europe near America, Europe where their continent. Say UK, Russia, Germany, what do you say Italy, Spain, because a honor COVID ne buy no a count especially Spain and friends Italy. Omo COVID vaccines ne buy no nya de omo twi momo omo ya no the president be TV so no mo won pa ne Biden ye otia konwa so America kra won pa ne bi live on TV. Kamala Harris ye won bi senators and congressmen nyina wo mu bi Europe call ma the same thing wo pa ne live on TV. Now mo say Ghana de as ye buy ne abomo me sad one ye pomp and pageantry and ye di koshia. You can't take the politics out of Ghana. Ghana de he ya ambulance crab by see ya ambulance outdoor it twice and a refi Ghana de sa eni ama hia ne yebon dudo ekura ehia na ebondudo. I'm not in any way saying that COVID vaccine ehia very very important. Enunti na no doctor si asare ba o se COVID no cry be mama penny is excellent na nado. One dey kan dey ba one wo TV so live. Ye wi a Dr. Baumia I want be live. Ministers na wo pompo ye be wo live. Asa na Ghana for na aka no. Health workers enom ne ade nyina ya bem na journalist for cry dey we bedu ye so kra na ache. What you say? These are the bread and butter issues I was here can wasem but that issue notwithstanding echo aban se obi a be won COVID vaccine bi on tue bi entu nim na nurse ni bia na obi be ka cho say be won COVID vaccine na betria oya no nim ka je say ye na de. Let me take you back to make us a bread and butter issues I was here can wasem and penifo akese na ba betena se wa no ye ne honorable ejapa mesa ebe twetwe nkomo na honorable so the MPP for penifo na o mkasama party ne ka ho the entire ministers are converting there so far. So vetting na ye is that a proper way of assessing as well for na our doctor kesi a ochade was Central University era oche ankra won so abin your research fa ye carrying kofom elections ni ade nyina ne no na na edi akoniaba won bebo am ye hu say vetting na ye no brofo akese na ye kokeka na say some kind of politics because we be vetting committee a MPP for no onya who defend abankro for nti o mu musa question bi emu odene. And honorable member, congratulations. Honorable member, I've looked at your CV, you are doing well. Honorable member, I must encourage you. Honorable member, honorable member, no. And no, sir, tax, yeah, I'm telling you. I want electricity to it will reduce it. NHIL, get fund. Any VAT now, motivated or taxes. Mrs. They say, Koto Dokno, a crime or better to NHIL, get fund, any VAT, you better. Koto Dokno, Koto ice cream or a crime or you better. Koto West's more, you better. Koto Marina, you better. Koto Okadeko, you better. Furniture City, you better. Baby, I will to be a better. In fact, boys no come to Malcolm, near man come Jaka, or Momo Koto Malcolm, Yatu Modada, to appear the GYASO our traffic them. They have no choice but to do it. And near my back a tax and Kwani Edwin Ho. Now, Osha appointment committee, a Juma Moya, our Moveti ministers, ya so. Yabusa question, what gun and Nino, a kawa, nah. But you're not yet. Ghana for ne hiamu pasa mu kasa mu timu nyasa ebe yuma iboni wan kasa chiwa ye yiwa iboni o questions na minority for a committee ni tu busa omo pede ebe gensi MPP for the obetata ne yonko question am say yeah ne wan kire no ane esuhini anase muntaka mubrak minority ni da kwa de ne obra utim betutu ana dusu so mu appointment continue say yes what share chewa ne mane ne nananom wo busa question mu odin. Is that what you want? But I should give it to them. They are asking some fantastic questions. Obi to say Kopoku, and they say, Abujina Pobai or no atepa. Excavators no way. Or say excavators na hire and 500. Yo, ahenaka. Ewa he. Adena mumbu hwa konta. Unim say besina COVID-19 hu sika ye de aye COVID no. Besina Ghana ye shade nya ho calculation. Ahena mo yusuo. Ahena mo de to petrol. Ahena mo de to car. Ministers akese 5 and aba. Frontier question back when no na honorable Esiama cry attempt to so answer and any honorable akando be kasana if the question was properly answered yani honorable agbeveso health committee so the entire issue about contract back on yasa ministers 5 will be anymore hey Ghana so there ya mom say Nigeria for kasa Ghana for na magicians contract back ministers 5 by ya obi anim contract no wasem honorable Esiama pe eno hu no kra no. Say the minority for one can wait to me and Chairman Kosiaga, will get answers to all those things. What I say? And LGBT for one office or more comes, there's almost European Union for number one be office or mumra to their aid because Yabeto or more office Mamma Naquas and fast and that's a issue. No, a trend is Obisu sending message to young Ghana taxes, corruption, to get DM penny focus here. A bit to me see a dime more than just say, well, also, or having our debacco. As or kwa sama do odbeko ni nyina ya asema ye beka ho asem na ayaga and also you have no right in Ghana no ba ayaga no ka che LGBT for say be o mpe ba bi nko Ekufuado presidency not transactional abugina upon waka che Ekufuado o say Ekufuado presidency no enye so obi je kapra na asempo bi o mo nye transaction wo ho na president no ko chew so ye transaction o be chew enti no de waka brofo no ka pacho ye wani ne ke ko flaster house o ana jubilee kebe hu say yes na ti anasa nye sa onna na meka say Kopoku tata no kwahia mo no hu say yes wo hia chewa pa ene ne ma na minority no say we can't vet a nominee for an office we don't know. Now minority for our parliament no say omo ka na they are not part of Joseph Kujo minister designated for public enterprise no say hey na they minister in public enterprises no president where they it is one my better further particular said about me no they will not vet anybody. That issue is there. Honorable Mesa honorable Mesa Mafio na honorable Mesa no to me fire say no be for say hey if you it's honorable Mesa and na waba no na first we have proven that no candidate won December 7 where NDC and omo case omo petitions omo prove omo case e wo court nti ya wadan they don't fear who e wo court on and Mahamad's petitioners prove Akufo-Addo won 2020 election we president lawyers and omo case na Mahamad Nkofo no kra ba ye no court asem on beka nkra che say Akufo-Addo we win abeda dan to omo forget ade e say 2012 there 2012 ya ndane aban na nkase na anado metna so dia ene na 2021 so yentumi ndane nkase Mahamad metna konya 20 ne say the NDC for akase so obi ani one oyi efrese ne yenya de ekoto ababia Kofie kodi banku wi a waba 2024 be contest another election the omo kanonom. I'm a peaceful man. Forgive my I will kill you comment. Where honorable Amewu. Me say we are say ma who do appointment committee the appointment committee will force you will whip you into line. When himself before Makako make I say political comments on platforms. Fifi Kwete, Ama Benyuado, Otiko Jaba. Omu nyina ba committee omu du committee na obi aba be patch obi na Amewu no. Ocho okoka I will kill you wo baby omu fa nchen na we de oka no wa appointment committee no one ye careful one kase ye approve wa one kase wa utiri wa ebetutu no bo say yes we share pa busia for jaso nie okay 101.7 FM na production team yera Isaac Owusu Eduomi na yi Kojo Adamiado Kojo Hansen frame abankro twa tum social media be bia wo but send comment no views bra any attempt because I won't read that one. Yes, I may mistake random copy, so I'll hang it in the air and not complete in reading it. But I don't comment about ministers now, more call nominees now, or more call appointment committee anymore. So, answers or de mano. Any appointment committee members also questions or mubusano. What gun and Nina Okojina Riemu, Boss Yomuana Joe, midnight now was a lie to a bano. Questions I'll see a busa and mubusana. Because they are there to do your work. And you're almost the omo pet. Now, where's a miss so a cost appointment committee no? Muya any ebeka ho asem. Ways and means cost to behind the appointment committee no. Muya ebeka ho asem. Muya ebeka ho asem. And you will not call anybody before the privileges committee. You will not call anybody before the privileges committee when we talk about it. Ayariga ayariga bekasayo. Ayariga bekasayo as a member of parliament. Ghana for we have a right to speak inside. To speak about the members we have elected and giving you the power. It was a means now we among guys say yeah yo I'm saying for young quiet come on to just okay 101.7 bet me follow Instagram at okay 101.7 FM Twitter so yeah okay 101.7 FM and Facebook no okay 101.7 FM also yeah ho no bet me at join here o comment me ade nyina duru ho no ma bet me e dia ba your WhatsApp line 0506077521 and yeah normal telephone line and there be share be telephone line am wetimi akasa 0302243529 0302243529 and at 030243547 030243547 ha me my age more telecom that ya na me born numbers 220 ya na 33 na a confuse me 0302243547 ebusa for jaso ne ya fa me vim lady afia POKUAA ne honorable Ejapa Mesa ewo ahasei na Dr. Ochre Ankra Chade Central University so ewa ye ne mpelifo so honorable Agbebe honorable Akando enom ne mpelifo akanyina abetwetwe nkomo honorable Nto ebehwe say yes sinipa so esefata kwanye esefata say ye de sisi omo no na ye ya na honorable Mesa ne doc enwume ye mam good evening ne akwa baba jaso so
yo afia mejo so
sabo ko de
ya me dia che
ebusuafo no so ye
nyame o
yo honorable Mesa ho ye
ya
na we ebusuafo no so ye wife so no ho ya yo yeah ase
aka chode ibi video no na ma click answer
ana wa voice mento
ja mask ya na ode ye
me say mask na o ya atiti o
mask your day na ye
when the ode ye so
but I want to na me bo here ni bro so
enya the match em ba hu
e bra my brain my day started really early but I am besi anti
child am na wo de
adam bo support
enya the man na je ma fa phone na ma frɛ wife me say wife impocho je o husband mam ai wana wape
na boy o de ma akwanyi bi ya anza na brother
e cha no paso bebe adwuma
still I dem a groomer anyway bin share wetin fu
nya hwe next time enya appointment a no che de adwuma na ye no ne mfa so enya anyen enwa aye adwuma so communication de I am one sometimes there lawyer na etumi ye mom nje lawyers de advocacy is your thing me boa
if ya
me ya ma pass ma mo ehu
de man na maka fo mo ho ba ndi
it can give you
ro ko ha we dem maka hwe but I guess that talent in yakupon maybe anazi ti our course bis na we jesu ma akoni bia do or there a kasa in support of the course I may the jesu MPP one course for Ghana particularly His Excellency Nana Dankwa for the leadership for Ghana on a Lloyd na etsi propaganda na nko work some nde eti ebetina
unia kakaba friend jinapo eno onye amewu maybe na aseso start na ezen
Japan royalties in some no obupuemu me etibi
nche Japan mana po mo do to Facebook that even if it comes in another form I won't support it
inti na ochele you bought into the propaganda.
Yeah, the propaganda. I mean, I am a research on it. I come from a mining area, honorable. Inti yet to mine and yet to go need the man area.
Honorable.
That is my point.
Only a new thinking was introduced. There, the may and the dadona, you shut down Fasubia. Osande royalties no bankatan katan obasan the consolidated fund wa consume minerals fund 20% or allocate ma schools na no kan this assemblies are where affected ono pe na specifically according to the mining community for development inti ya be dan na yetum ya transform mining communities ni bia ye resources ni fi into the Johannesburg's.
So ono no ye Japan, is that the solution?
Ono no so ni Minerals Income Investment Fund Act. Parliament or passé. Act no oma fund no kwan. The on set up special purpose vehicle in any jurisdiction. Now you use them vehicle no from raise car up front. Then you target them scano into specific interventions that we can generate some benefit up front.
Okay.
Now, say royalties no bar, yet so minerals fund from China in Kano 70% I believe would then go towards
but honorable, you are not answering my question. I'm telling you, topic.
But here, Osanam be so then they say bet in India.
State
capture. Yeah, they go into the election. I was telling you, Mankasam believe in the Akufo-Addo vision. Onam do have to suffer.
Ono ye Akufo-Addo vision. Inche no what the bay. No, Dr. Dufo 2015. Ne budget no the gold company.
No,
what they were setting up a company like a Japan. They just that the name is different.
What can
to and what be setting up
until then all of a sudden now went to man yet na unialeya esoli oliwie
kado you say shareholdings no yes suspicious
shareholding as we speak young cost stock exchange who is the shareholder of the company
nche what in some man
if you
but also we are aware of the transactional advisors at the transactional advisors the legal firms that were contracted. I don't know, raising suspicion there. I didn't confirm for when you want Kodwa. Wabey and family and friends. That is the argument of those who are opposed to this Ejapa deal. It's not in principle. There, one pedo a gold company. Yeah, man,
the conversation no see no in our state capture no. There, on paying no in the busnafo what quantum young gold royalties. Was it factual? Put the transaction and the structuring aside. We can have a conversation.
Okay.
But a Japan royalties, was it intended to steal anybody's resources?
I don't know the intention.
That in your way. Was it true?
Honorable, even to many argument though, your brother no work on vetting.
Brother no work on your hidden. These are the facts. Legislation, Parliament was passing in 2018 or amending August 2020. Obi I conjure of baby.
No.
Is it not public record?
Yes.
The power to set up that vehicle was not passed by the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana.
I was.
So what's the issue?
The issue, until my work on one.
No, maybe so that work on one no quara on the vetting we pay me na ye. The propaganda. Why in the 2020 general election? And some work kind. State capture. This Achim Sakawa Kominini. Was it true? Was it really the case? No, that can't madam not sir. Should I think to me any near Gunkofo film Sunday? I don't know about boy and ma. Yeah, we swing Kofo and Ajumo to Abame.
Okay. Don't know about the best you man. But yeah, but yeah, vetting 19.
How do you use all pay vetting?
But I think the point also remains that honorable. I better don't support you.
Why do I offer them the minimum?
Oh, me, I better child the minion. But I'm asking you about your friend the Databank for a withdraw as your friend the transactional advisors.
No, someone then.
I see.
I want to then.
No, but wasn't it a matter of conflict of interest, honorable?
How?
If somebody argues that or your conflict of interest,
how is it conflict of interest? Conflict of interest, they want. Or arise when say we interest, then disclose, then participate in the decision making. That's when the law deems you to have conflicted. But if you have an interest in a disclosing part, nobody can accuse you of conflict of interest.
So was it disclosed or until we
came
out?
The Databank or finance minister, no interest.
But how many people knew that his company was part of this?
If you on the market, throwing words around is the easiest thing to do. How many transactions, investment banking transactions, were Ghana had since the 1990s? In the Databank one count. Name one other company who has the competencies to do the kind of work that's related to the fundraising in this country. Name one. So what's the issue? What?
Honorable, so are you okay? Are we I don't know if you are justifying that it's okay for Databank, it's okay for Gabini law firm.
I support the transaction.
Okay.
100% Krausa. Osande is good for our country. Now, Kokubo Bosa, you go to your interest on a monthly basis. It's okay. It's okay.
If the loan is good, why? If the interest is okay.
For a purpose. Now, equity and a debt. Professor, on the bottom watch me. In fact, circumstances you are debt is better than equity. In the circumstances you are equity is better. So we can agree to disagree, but to accuse people of thievery, of stealing, when there was absolutely no basis for those accusations. Because that equity makes it, no conversation, we can have it any day. Or say the beer or the merits or any demerits. In fact, some people argue, crowd put there, debt is always better because that's other people's money,
which you pay anyway.
Of course, with interest. Equity is your own resources.
Okay, but honorable, if unless the Ejapa deal comes again with a full disclosure of the shareholding.
Disclose. There's no shareholder.
Nah. Directors of that company no. Honorable, this issue about Osafma for Neba and whether or not he was qualified or whether or not the job was honorable. Hang on.
But that's completely
and whether or not
the transaction.
What it was?
No, it's complete. Let me catch you there. Structure of the transaction. We can debate it. No problem.
Okay.
And the substantive transaction itself. You have to distinguish the two.
Why should we?
Unless, of course, they buy into the propaganda that they're used to. Because they are different.
Propaganda. Honorable, propaganda. Listen, I'm honorable. So you mean all those people who come from the mining areas, they are doing propaganda?
That's not what I mean.
Mr. Nkofu of me papa. He went to gold when you come for how many years?
Nkofu Rezi.
Can all those people be shareholders?
Merbo.
Can they also take up appointment on as directors of the firm?
Merbo. Tell me what on Vodafone Okroma.
Yeah.
And Vodafone no ownership prior to that.
One is Malaysia for no woman management contract.
100% owned by the government of Ghana.
In Chawa management contract to Malaysia.
I have Vodafone on court stock market. Yam for Goel. No, 100% owned by the government of Ghana. Management problems.
Yeah. Make
Sika capitalization issues. Abanso no ide me divest into what for Ghana Stock Exchange. No beer or food or pedal to be beer or uncle to be. That's exactly what Ejapa was about. They hadn't even got there because
but people had entered.
Nobody had entered.
But people had jobs.
Which jobs?
Me say the transactional advice. But I say.
But you see, then again you make a mistake between employee, no shareholder.
The employee, was it advertised? Yeah, for employees, I want advertiser.
Nkofu head hunting every day.
In a company that is answerable to government.
How you came here?
This is a private company.
Oh.
It's a private company.
Different.
Yes. Private company in Porto Debbie honorable Mesa despite our shares woman. Kana for our shares were despite man.
Principles man there. The structure no or the same. Ownership you the same. The principles of recruitment, whether public sector or private sector.
No, but honorable, this is an issue because Doc, Doc, Krasa who be a masters into public meboa. Doc, say a public institution ban juma. You bet me head hand picking comfort say or self ma for Barbara be juma won kwa na self say obey juma we.
And what happened?
Did it go? Was it published? Was the job advertised?
Look. What for consultants?
And not consultant they the one for no.
No, consultants were head hunting.
And see how many people were head hunted?
Several people were shortlisted.
Who? Which people?
I don't have the details as we speak.
Hey, honorable.
But these are matters of fact.
You are speaking like a lawyer.
Several
people were
pocket one.
Technicalities able to be
But you see,
how many people were head hunted? But doc could they for once and doc could they for once and yes sir honorable Mesa be usuli yes sir doc but your public institutions so more ye adwuma to say the Japadi ya what are the protocols around it media minimum to the chem doc
me en church for
modasi
as I say ka ne kwan so no ye biem it's all borders on transparency, conflict of interest, ultimately targeting corruption.
Ultimately
targeting corruption.
I see.
It is open say o si enema bi. Open say o si enema bi ho kwan a. Control systems. Say the expression and I say the phrase conflict of interest. Nipa pi entiase. So say nipa no Oma niema ne daddy ne ka se bia adwuma we ne yakoye on say papa Dr. Charles Kunrobe is one of the best engineers in a certain field. Omaimu. Nti yemfa ne se ono nko a no betumi aye adwuma bi. Na se anka ne nua na ye president. Na se SSC ye ma ne ye adwuma na. Ye beka se enu nti ye ma ne nya na. Na ya na ha adwen ne kwan a ye fa so e di yi nipa no.
Okay.
Say ye kan ye say you must disclose your interest. Say adwuma ye be ye e se me otumi a metumi e de asesa niema bi ana influence bibi. Name matweme ho. You recuse yourself from the process. They can say, okay, me ba ana me busu ni bi emfam. Ni ma obi hu say ni ye. Ye fam ni nyina mu wie ni say sa asumasi ba na asumasi nua. Ana ya hwem ye nim die hu say ono na osefata se ye de ma no. Ni ye de ma na emfam so obi ani ho. Na me nim nokre ni nyame ni me nim how the process went. Ekwan fa so a ya appointe enipa na omye adwuma no. Okay, or say you move a consultant. Yeah. Consultant na a chere okwan a omfa so. E na omde ye. But say you move a kwan papa so and oman fa kwan papa so. Ebe si na new report bi a chere e kwan omfa so omye adwuma. Nti we can only guess say e bi a we the course and anyema bi ankoso ye. But ne papa mni de as I say e man ye transparent. Na obi bia o sefata se oye adwuma no ye ma no kwan ma ne ya na enhyeda nkohia se ofihia na oye hwan ba ne mu se ne be ya obi adwene be ne fan se ye adwene ye se niema bia ankoso ye na wona obi a wama ho kwan ma obi adwene sa ekoba ye ne se ye nyina ya biem ye pe nipa bia owonim de wo saa de kwan we so te se Databank de enya aban we nku an oni na ye adwuma endi se aban kro oni na ye adwuma aye adwuma ma aban da enti yenim se sa bank ni tumi ye se adwuma na aba na ye se okay hwan na betumi aye na obi ama na Databank ko na ye de mana enfum so obi ani.
Is that the case? So Databank
I don't make say me I don't have that information. So me nim di anka me nim asem fofra meka e de ato so but because me nim no me pese e be se me bo me trima kan sem. And so I'm quite limited as to how the processes were carried out. Now,
okay, but don't go say answer na minister nominee Edemaye on Ijapade and say propaganda na and call for about Ijapa not necessarily say a boni said they are not honorable mesa can say yes be a boni but na propaganda na and call for ye to omonto omobono. And
I make us say a propaganda and na enye no. We are limited with information.
Okay.
So say idea yema akwan no anase processes na transparent and ke betumi ehu say ampa adwuma na omo ye na omo fa akwan we so mfa akwan we so na bibia ensi obi a ho kwan but we don't the information is scanty until we are unable to judge or ascertain to establish say so ampa omo fa akwan papa so and omo amfa akwan papa so na yeti ya na say bibi aba we na aban pese oye e bia na adwen etachire ni ye wo se be say say awoba na wo kodware obi betumi adware afi ni tiri so which is the right way obi so betumi adware afi ni nase ye wa kurase na awode wa otumi dware fi nase ne mu se le be ya wonkofa efi ni fi nase emfa ma otiri so ti na esi dware fi otiri so na nka ni na nka ye dware but one is seem to be right one is wrong.
Okay.
And it say if the processes are transparent now those who are involved obia ka say I want to disclose the key word there is disclosure.
But wouldn't say the honorable message so as a man or cancer. They no baby or mudu ye no kransana abato no bebaso no kra. Was that no mundu baby to even disclose? They were at the point say money consultants near there
even the appointment of the consultant na kwan ben ye fa so far.
Okay.
Say no so kra say bia enye nipa ba kwan na company ba ko na betumi aye consultant.
Okay.
So what you say? Enti there are several year anka ebetumi na make say ekwan the process ekwan a ye be fa so amanka adwempa etachire no adaje no ye maniema bi kofiafia ho a na sabi obi eje wadwen akosi adbone a na obi eje wano akosi bone niema ni bi o ha anka wo ma emu da ho fan a anka e bia there are some questions we are asking now ke ye misambo.
Are you agreeing with honorable Mesa say concept nakasa is good?
The truth say me I don't want to misinform.
Okay.
I have not taken keen interest in that Ejapa whole deal. I have not taken interest.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Mesa.
Comments we are making, the information, transparency, Now all the
those are general public
but of course
sector issues.
It told me clearly. Honestly, I'm sorry, but you be and I concluded the ABA on pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the transaction nankasa.
Okay.
And nankasa wajatu. Don't take a keen interest because we take a keen interest. Nkobo hunde even Martinami did not report questioned the basis of the procurement, which means that there was a procurement.
Okay.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, was transparent.
Okay.
Was then the nature of the transaction, or your specific expertise, bina, was I.
Okay.
And the letters were written to public procurement with names of companies. One year, some restricted tender process for the procurement of their services.
Okay.
Which service in particular?
The transaction advisory mandate. Transaction advisory services.
Okay.
Which then led to the mandate agreement. Mandate, there will be a woman mandate, then was required per the request for proposals, to partner with a Ghanaian entity.
Okay.
That's how come Databank came in. Because Imara partnered with Databank to submit a proposal, bid for the transaction.
As a team.
Thank you. Some other companies also did. And our evaluation was selected one. That mandate holder was the one that was given the power to help in even drafting the law, engaging consultants for the recruitment of personnel and all those kinds of things. I'm trying to get the name of the company. So there was nothing that was hidden. I'm saying that many problem with even having a conversation about the processes leading to the transaction.
Okay.
But the accusation that the transaction was corrupt, it was criminal, it was state capture, it was community, some people wanting to leave a Japadia for their family, and this, that. Was it all true?
But those ones, you can say it's a propaganda. Yes.
But that's the point that I'm making.
You can say there's propaganda in it.
You say vetting and someone look for a woman. Is it not obvious to Obia there? A Japan, someone that worker can know in the run up to the election was all fiction.
Are you saying say Minister Obeka, Minister Nomini Obeka, and fund the man without questioning?
But that's a fact.
Without questioning. Nana Pomana Norco Ministry.
Oh, Merba. Yeah. Because what from a Japan message? Because Mizinukra or yeah similar to the transaction.
Yeah.
I was accused of being behind it.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And see, I took my time. I'm more time. Look at the per time you are. Oh, Mendo. Mutum read down and Mitsu Gra. But no, I had double buta. And see, I read the documents and I understood what exactly was happening. And so that's how I came out to speak.
That is not you.
But how could an entity that is 100% owned by the government of Ghana, 100% owned by a fund that has been set up by the government of Ghana, belong to Ejapamesa because the company is called Ejapa Royalties?
Okay. I know the man people. I don't know how anybody could have come up with that.
Can you begin to even imagine? All these were said.
Okay. On our young main issue, which is the vetting, because because doc, there's a vetting process since almost 30 years. In fact, you're trying to underforce the public you cry now. Vetting a home for so an enjoy.
Enjoy a home for so now. Vetting no your nienti and senti aye. If I see you who say a nipana yadene kohono, a jumana koyeno, a bia otiasie, otiasie and so na kuma and na gene ewe jumanaso. O say between a mobile jumana na ninyo. A ban sound to me ya jumani.
Okay.
Inti if I see you who say ya bodin yan fancy boso na otumiensa and answer bosomi, and sana ya be your vetting. Nanka wo bisa mpo se sa ministry we adwuma ben ene yeye sectors ben na hye meme ministry nase enne be mo se adwuma no kra me koye ne sen obia expect se wunya nko ho no wo behu bibia na wonnim bibia so nemum se wode wo ho hyem se wobesua de a wobetumi asua ye vetin no ahwe se nipa na oto no sebe oka no kre si enyina yakọ interview da okọ interview at we at say interview wadu baabi na ye bisa wasam na ebia question kra wonte ase ana wonnim answer e se wotumi ka no kre se ade a mo bisa me mente ase ana menim ukoma answer enye no kra e ho ne betumi agina so se onye obi a uka no kre na se won ka no kre so dia e be den no atumi abedi minister e ba ne sa oman no na ye ho be kire nti test wo honesty ne wo integrity ebia o previous life no why adwuma o ba bi pen a wo ye adwuma ho na nam so ma adwuma ne gui ana nam so ma adwuma ne etumpon sika bi fa wase ana se niema bi a ankoye ni nyina ye hwehwe na format no so on say me akoye say ade no ye bia say yenye nanka me hwe ana binim say honorable MP do a be or mo invite public and say information be betumi dia ba e bia wonnim bibi fo obi ho a bia o mo nim a obetumi atraba e bi o ha enye nokore say nipa na ye pese egu no ho fe keke e bi o so a nokore a e kwan pe na ye fa so a ye hwehwem ni hu say asma ya kan to asmasi so nokore na ye nokore they have access to national security and every apparatus say e betumi ahwehwe nipa no na chi onim say asi pen wo man mu a obi ye ne vetting ye passing or parliament yansu any in as minister if you are aware Ghana ha
why that would be 92 but 92 the omanya vetting vetting started only 97
and 92 mekachiro somebody was vetted after, yes is it 92
Spugabra was vetted
yes,
went through
because
parliament
he wasn't a registered voter
he
wasn't a registered voter no registered voter.
There is another name.
And then I think somebody else.
There's another person. Yes, there's another person. Also, Yansweni in.
And or go through.
Yeah, Yansweni in or go through process. And also, Yamana may minister. Ebiana, Yahuia Chile, who say be a bibi, Honti Yaman Yajuman. Okay. And to hear the appropriateness of even the questions. Ebi or how I won't say, Chairman, say, I deal with the men prima misa. Ebi are na yakwa personal. Well, ni service, and ye pano. Ono ne ho nsem pii na okwa de kwa adwuma ye pese hu se adwuma no betumi aya na ontumi nye e bia ne knowledge level ne experience ne niam a wokeka boma na obetumi bisa question na o se question no kra emfa adwuma no ho ba bia on say in this instance no your ministers ni bia why minister pen nti no they had the opportunity to ask you of your past. Say why you adwuma no nyawdi kan ye na kwan be na afa so ye e bia eniema bi sisi ye be nya hwan kwan abisa because Ghana ha no say enya parliament na be free say be yi asem bia no a eno ase wo ye na adwuma no kwa nti this is the right opportune time ye be ka say wo ye we wanye we dentin wanye niema e course wo ministry no ye bisa ho asem.
Yeah, but this is the obi on my fair obi tisa abuji na pone fair.
E da me ka say ebinum wo ha ye nya opportunity nia onya adwuma wo ho no afeni ebebisa no say den onim fa ba bia okono den na eye ono ane plan ana ne proposals a ode ko say okọ akọboa ma ministry na ye adwuma in the case of abudina for onko ho enso aye adwuma aban mu pen eduba bia ne bese ebisa wo kra wadwen etina Ghana ha ye to aba ye to sie eduba bia okọ online ye say sa o man we so ye to aba about this issue no say na ono abo Japan mesa okan ye na da ho nti ebese ehu wo wankasa your stance on certain issues. Inti yeko bisa minister nominee for agenda hwan ne yebisa no o ka kire se ewo mrem o ye pese ehu nye se omo bisa no omo nim e pese ehu ono ankasa ono so ne stance se ade no ewo mrem kra me pene so ana me pene so na anke ma ho kwan se bia general public so enye just memo ne ne ma fa obi ho se bia ministry we a ebisa ho asem no se education a mesumi wo question bia metumi atoro edi akoma ebia committee na eduru ho ma bisa na ebia na wanya lucky say me she onu abo mi say ebia wokọ na ebisa bisa sa question we mami e no betua informal ana ebedu me ebia betua aka say ye free experts in the field say education ye mfa nkofo mo ti education ase no mo mra me bisa niema questions a betua aboa ma ye nya the best out of the person so na ekwakoye say oh say that nya ye nipa ye nkofo nipa nipa nti edu ho de a question na ye bisa no ye mfa na light Nemum nipa nso nye nipa nti ye mia no se politics ni ba mu na yanko boa oman no.
Okay.
So nti yemfa politics ni to nchen. Na the biggest problem I have in this country ni say ye be ka say oh me NDC ni die. Nanso ade a MPP aban ye mefoa so. Me MPP ni die na ade a NDC aban ye mefoa so.
Sir.
Ye do sa point na de be hu say the democracy no enyi ba akwa say oh nkofui ye be kire papa e ba ne sa na ya
but do de na emu de na wo hu do you see politics and say o maka boma o mo bo o man wo
e do ba bia wo hu e na o say see how ya bibia ye say contempt of parliament. Some of them are treated with kid gloves. Ebi wa to me say oh we dey nipa ye ni man sorry nko we so our
parliament no
omo parliament no enkankan dey say ebi mu ye omo ba ho ache ne ade nti omo dey ye nche omo
for instance why
afia odi afia
so we dey anya o ka say kid gloves anya atenie hu nkan
afia me say ye at least kakra ya hwe ye hu say ne ebi mu ba omo kire omo na ebi mu so ba ase ya ese oh we dey ya nipa
esla ne ho kire no esla ne omma ne ho kire no
kakra
abuji na po ba na omma ne ho kire no
kakra
okay amewu
hawa so ho kire no kakra
hawa so ho kire no
amewu yes amewu metu aka say na ye but you see the most important na baby American kwesi ni say ye mfa hye mi say ye koboa ma oman no ye ko yini papa obetumi abeboa sebe ye ko fo obi so me energy minister no ba na wantumi anya ade a nye nyina ne bebre dum so ba say ye nka say wo party we na wo party we na ho be kire wa na say obenya kanea ye nyina ne ho be kire ye enti it's a good exercise but our see ye hu say enkankan ya no kasa hwe nipa dodo a akopa che e parliament
yeah
hwe nipa dodo a apache oh asemo ya me kan ye de mumfa ncheme kama na wo kan hwe am wo hu se bi asemi na ye anase na nye
okay
na ye pia wa akodu ba bi no aka se me pache na se minister akopa che wa enkankan ya na ye du omachi no so minister kan bibi wakopa che wa ankasa so asema wo gina radio so kan asema wo frɛ telephone so nsema wo tumi kan egu mpanyimfo hu fini ade no that thing flow say ko gina ba bia wo so be pache wo ana obetumi defend
well and that question is out there because on confo be especially social media but they say all sorts of things omuni evidence said na honorable Mesa but honorable Mesa generally about the vetting no since Ghana started fourth republic a free year the 1992 constitution year has it lived out to the objective I did appointment even ever since 1997 he started the year after JH Mesa they call court no as Supreme Court ma one decision said they should do that
no JH Mesa ne Supreme Court okwe no now in respect of
continuing ministers
he argued na Supreme Court in the president term will end on the 6th of January and by that day the appointees ni na so one tenure end inti say when your mandate beginning on the 7th then be here there in accordance with the constitution about submit ministers review
to
parliament for parliamentary approval was on the 1992 constitution I believe article 78 no provide for appointment of ministers and the constitution no okay the president may appoint ministers of state with the prior approval of parliament in 1993 time former president Rawlings started first government of the Fourth Republic or submitting the ministerial listing to Parliament for parliamentary approval. Indeed and in fact, vetting was started 2013, 1993. But of course, 1993 now there was no opposition in Parliament. Essentially, it was rubber stamp Parliament. Then the MPP boycotted parliamentary elections at the time. Presidential and parliamentary elections, boom. Presidential and parliamentary. And subsequently, there was some rules so that the opportunity for BR to boycott will not be available. But me and my country because in this year, maybe an union men this worry election report. Yeah,
but would that have been in the interest of the state?
No. It wouldn't have been. It was just on a lighter note.
Yeah.
But me food the vet no here, Papa. Was under Dama Doc Ken. On my opportunity, may assess the competences of Nkofa, His Excellency the President. Of course, interview in itself. On share Obianing Dimzi necessarily. Because if you are Odimkasa
tension.
But a diminution in Sima, no, I be all.
Yeah, that's very true.
Obiso Onimkasa. But I'm a Dumasa obey.
Yeah, that's true.
Obi Oha Osroni Penim Kasa. And so cats now on tomb
or express no ho.
But Obi has him net track record. Nim Dumaza waye. That said, it's useful. Wasn't there Dama na doc reckon. And they say Abujina Po, it say Asenso Boachi. These are young men. His Excellency the President will appoint one. And if you listen to one policy framework, obviously, we consult a party in manifesto. We read handing over notes. Previous ministers or occupy positions no wager. We who the broad medium-term framework of government, abandon vision, and when Ankasa we to more formulate what it is, and when I to go to why I was a boy or man paying my way to more achieve the vision. It tells you that they are prepared.
They are prepared even as young men and Kofa Academy. They are too young for the offices.
Age is just a number.
Okay.
France president was 40 years.
He wasn't even 40.
France.
No,
Even Barack Obama.
Yeah.
How old was he when he became the president of America? Almighty. In the age in the day, and share a mama brother Kujo Ponkuma.
Okay.
Young man.
Yeah. Kujo is not even 40. Yeah.
And look, even no more on the NDC front. Okude to a black one.
Yeah.
I mean, Haruna Jusu, my very good friend from Kongoto, they were young.
Yeah.
Really young.
Yeah, when they started politics.
When they went into politics and one party Bapa win the opportunity, they excelled. They did well. I may have issues with some of the Lama way, but broadly, these are people who are proving themselves there. Young men.
Yeah. A black a
and all that. Yes, Felix Mo. These are sharp young men who really did very well. And see, to that extent, more opportunity. But there, when you not gin dog in a sense that because we be treat one with kid gloves. There, when you want with you, I mean, Osei Chemis Abunsu has been there. Seen it, done it, lived it. Until be them not a veteran. Now, how else do you want him to prove himself? At Mazar. And so you would expect the on-check. Obi Oha, ne portfolio okite, maybe an issues now over up over the past administration. No. Oh, here there will be some. My very good friend, Godfrey Dami. It's a case in point. He arguably now watch it.
Yeah.
So far,
watch it.
How many hours?
6 hours 20 minutes.
Extra chair, Godfrey.
Oh no, Godfrey chair is not slow now.
Oh, I see.
We need to confirm.
6 hours.
Yes. And Honorable Minister for Communication, because you had Kelly
and all of them could not produce the answer for Frontier for anyone. Still.
Because
all of them could not.
There was no basis for even the question going to them.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, communications officer, a communications minister, lease and a license agreement for a space or airport of an urban.
Well, communication, the matter.
I think so. Health, Marco, foreign affairs. Because them question will be, sir.
But foreign affairs, the question should have gone to her.
For what?
It was valid.
It's the airport.
The airport on your foreign affairs information.
Ghana airport.
But if planes are flying from other countries to Ghana.
Oh. Foreign affairs minister or managing relations with foreign countries.
So what if a foreigner today?
Remember, health minister went to me new question. There was a whole lot of hue and cry.
A valid hue and cry.
There was no basis whatsoever.
Health minister.
None whatsoever.
Health minister.
Because another, me say Kwekwesiama Vetting. He produced the document.
Pacho, my friend, Honorable Akando. Honorable Akando,
it says, Masrao. If you have a friend, Mamma come out and we enough. Oh, Sunday, as it turned out, and on the paying Joy FM will redeem significant portions of the contract. And in fact, Joy FM will produce a document.
Nature your document be.
I mean, I'm just relying on the medium that I headed for.
Okay.
They said that Ghana airports will throw letter call PPA for approval
of the space. Of the space, not the contract. Of the space.
But contract no, you have a contract.
Contract no, a contract to set up and to operate.
At what?
Honorable, operating at a space. Honorable, well, I am lawyer.
Honorable, but you see,
Honorable, privity of contract. No, Honorable, if you write a letter to somebody that you want to
remember, sometimes you free there a ban or ye intersectorial.
Sure.
Obia or ye juma to support each other just so that the broader government policy can be achieved. For instance, we have a pandemic on our hands.
Under health.
Pandemic, Ministry of Health now will manage.
Yeah.
But transmitters what to move pandemic from one point to the other, or your travelers. You are close to an airport, but you pay your way.
And you say and your foreign affairs.
What has that got to do with foreign affairs?
Because you even pay the money from baby a free.
How are you going to
you pay the money from the source? Honorable, these are the rules that okay. Honorable, you call them.
And so I'm saying that facility no sir, foreign travelers what for now what the procurement or your airport, airport or you're under a specific ministry. If a decision is taken that look, we need to set up a facility or a testing site at your facility so that travelers over into Ghana ni nano you check one and sana who will be responsible for ensuring that that health situation which requires all the testing and sana is put in place. Is it the health minister or is the transport minister who is responsible for the airport?
Are you saying, Honorable, are you insisting
so,
that
remember, the impression was created there. Every upon a contract be and you another waka sibi na waka a contract be what that come be. Health minister be also yes, government took a decision. But I'm not the one who did the procurement of the services for the airport facility. Hey, hell has broken loose.
But
ultimately,
did they inform him?
Or then information.
But he knew that there was a company that had been contracted to be.
And what was the details of the contractual obligation between government of Ghana?
FDA, or under the remit. Why approve?
Honorable, then, Abedena, FDA for my approval. Honorable. abede na FDA ma approval no because letter no kuje to black can na approval no came in October. The company started operating 1st September. The same day the contract was signed, the same day na company okoho. How did the company arrive at the charge of $150 per person?
At the temporary incorporation contract there.
Mente bibia. Mente bibia.
Sometimes we are quick to condemn.
But
we are in a pandemic. We are in a global health emergency.
The Biana president or your fellow Ghanaians.
Sorry to interrupt.
Please.
We were in a pandemic. Perfectly agreed there. We can't have time to go through certain processes. But I see in the case of Metumamau, 2-3 examples are at the time we had to just rush to do certain things. But as at now, how about fumigation? How did fumigation start? At that time, also, BBR or the intent to clear. As at today, we don't go through any process. Just one company take it and do it. So it's become permanent. At the time, that one, everybody will agree. Today, nobody will agree. So we don't put all of them in a basket and say we were under pandemic. There's nothing else we could. That's why we even have remedies. When something goes wrong, we find a way to remedy it.
But what has gone wrong in this circumstance?
Frontier
Health. What has gone wrong?
Even according to the contract, what is Sikampa or the Wotiama Airport and they are underpaying?
The airport company or limited liability.
That's why we are asking questions. But the airport is for all of us.
Exactly. Yes, for all of us. And they are providing a service.
That is some people's impression. But let's look at the issue.
But then what are the issues? And that what they saw Ghana for an argument. You know, one come on contract with could them boom or down foreign company be what's on the 25th July or somebody? One man contract 1st September. Is it true?
That is what somebody said.
I'm a politician first. No, Chairman, Mr.
Honorable Mr.
My main reason. I speak in support of my beliefs.
Which is MPP.
His Excellency Nana Don Kwakufoado and the MPP. It is some Kwafu a Burbu that to Ghana for an woman. It is my duty to disabuse the minds of the people.
So you don't. So honorable, you don't speak in favor of Ghana, but you speak in favor of MPP.
Every MPP one believes no, it's not in federals of Ghana's cause in Kemedu nature. What are we talking about?
Honorable, but you ask a certain question.
Don't pretend as if you are an ostrich.
No, my pretender.
No, the man to come here. No, sometimes I don't understand you. To come here. And we know the kinds of things that people have said.
Yes, but we are here. We can forget about what they. We are here to. But up and down, it means we are only responding to. Then we can't have
with the issues by responding to the propaganda and the mischief that have been sown in the minds of
the propaganda may be there.
But that's the purpose of my being here.
Not only to respond, not only to respond to people's propaganda.
I'm providing education.
I'm
providing facts to counter the mischief that have been sown in the minds of people.
Okay, Honorable Nyabu Chairman, one of the question be made. I say the issues about frontier and the vetting. Generally, the vetting is good, and the frontier no put there. The question has been answered, and that even initial questions that were being put to foreign affairs, no health, were not the right place. It wasn't the right avenue. Honorable, good evening. Our line, no, Honorable, good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Me patron, who you there?
Patron, who you?
I got him a photo here.
Sorry for the inconvenience, but me about. Why we need to have consistency?
Aye, be here to me.
A lot of things happen, yeah.
Unia, a mess and also watch here was so by and come about one blow and you phone no crab train. I was your chair over house. I say, I say, I know I go, I say, I know I account on Messiah no Christmas in Yania day. We show Chrome 1 hour gym massage. So but honorable Agbabe patro ma health committee no so e wo mse munya formation of the new committees near the but earlier me no kasa na kasa this frontier question no cry even affects vetting process because 5 ministers about earlier who could not provide one answer to one simple question patro yanko that issue no so
afia me da se me chia with for omutie enwumrele your laws are a guiding say upesa o set up a lab o kromo hano it laws no say first o say o the equipment that o the ba no o the hu krata ebre standards board ne FDA mo mu hwem e hu say equipment we ejuma o say e ba ba ye no e betumi ayi say ejuma no that's one. Two, I was so called HIFRA, Hospitals and Facilities Regulatory Authority. By virtue of a genome kono, bet you say, Ansana over set up no, also almost facility cra, and now, sir, equipment out the abano, baby, I would it to know, a Juma also the Bible, it will be to the service of the people. That I give me a new way. I was all yeah. In fact, sir, Ubasa health insurance, credentialing, any facility in Ghana and there. Now we see hospital. Now we say, oh, my back on Mokra, Ubaji health insurance card. One got HIFRA 400 man for J. That certificate now. Yeah, man, who and credential and my own health insurance. I am a dahonomo and a health assembly.
Okay.
We are dealing with health issues. The bit senior and it's a car. We are put me start to be a senior between a different part of the asset. It's about health issues now. You're lost, no, and man who it doesn't compromise at all. It is a frontier airby. One would have expected, no matter how urgent the situation is. We are not in normal times. But for the sake of health, at least there should be some transparency.
Yeah, but honorable Mesa say there was transparency. Just that questions now not vetting committee for no. Omu Putin, they were just taking it to the wrong avenue. Any health minister asem, any foreign affairs minister asem, any Eslousu ministry asem, transport because almost sign our airport. And I'll say no transport minister about the questions answers about the contract ne crab bank. They say more upon saying.
Yeah. Transport ministry. Almost share a testing of COVID-19 asemana.
Airport on say transport as air transport as
transport ministry no and we see a minister no very carefully. I say rent. They only rented the premises. For frontier agreement is a rental agreement. And not what they call PPA no PPA. Oh no, they can go ahead. When you rent, what went into the contract to charge $150? That is the question.
Okay, $150. No, imagine airport or no?
Yes. Again, what went into it?
And when you answer our vetting committee, almost say when you answer.
How many times you only want it? And that is where we wanted to know. And Andra, Yebisa, transport minister, no, what kind of charges are or more general? Along the line, okay, any a client of Frontier Health Services are on member for the test, they will charge that client $10.
Okay, so I'm charging $10.
$10 per client. So those are the charges.
It's $150 different.
I don't know. We need that contract to peruse. Because the trust officer made it very clear. And so they gave us the premises for rent.
Honorable, what you sure so yes or say $10?
Yesterday, I listened to the transport minister's interview very carefully.
Okay.
I was expecting a follow up on that question.
But you say $10, no say $10 no for just the testing and also plus the rent, other production cost.
So we need to know. We need to look at that document. I need to see that document. We will need to probe more questions.
And you know, patches a more health committee in the Sukra from the time we sign a contract in September. But see now, vetting committee question number hono. Document no more there frontier.
Obian cashing chain.
No, Mubusa and Afama and assessing.
Yeah, of course. And from last year, frontier for 30 a day. I recall, I was among the first MPs. A boy who did say it was too expensive. It was just too exorbitant. And then there, we who say because there was no transparency, nobody was willing to come and answer the questions. What went to it? The idea said, you do the press briefing on COVID-19 press briefings, you know. And Dr. Bajibeka said, equipment near one of the modern sophisticated equipment means, you know, they get their results in within a certain shortest possible time. And therefore it's accounting for the cost. And I'm saying how? We are talking of COVID-19. In Kofu Juma say they are struggling to come home. There's no money. Their jobs, they've been jobless. And you are now asking them to pay $150 before they even get their ticket. What was even terrifying? Before you get your ticket to come to this country, conditions no home.
Okay.
Who just tickets now? Share 150 no. And yes, I didn't mean your ticket to come. So it was like mandatory. When you are that ticket in Bagana.
But honorable Bacho, more as committee no. Say more problem pan say just because of they say I will say $10 no. You between $10 and $150 no. And what went into the pricing. But how about the fact say Honorable Mesa Pache say 5 ministers now nominees don't buy and I'm some questions thing now. I said now minority for one and money Abraham Busa question. It was completely out of place because now when him say contract was signed at transport and and transport would have given you all the details. In fact, send can minister the contract and say I bet 2 honum.
Minister contract now or the bet 2 honum. You are right. The person I mean beside said again a call $150 charges.
Okay. Okay.
And they won't contract. And Grab, okay, to be a question. I see answer that over charge any clients in Ghana or say Odiba Parliament fees and charges schedule. Oh, yeah, no, sir. A transfer misani, yeah, no, sir. A government, a
private company. Sector. Okay.
But a private sector operating in what? A government facility.
Still can say about Parliament.
Service are already. You are rendering a service on COVID-19 affecting everybody.
Okay. Most suspect say be ways and means be woman because at least in answers now more pen say vetting committee now answers at least in first will be vetting no maba.
If you are, we are not satisfied.
Okay.
We are not satisfied with the answers that have come so far.
Okay.
The only answer Abbas is saying is renting transport ministry in charge of a airport. How much say you must say? The renting premises. Now, Osha, Minister of Aviation, the Prime Minister of Aviation, and Ghana Airport Company. What do? There are banks in the airport area. They don't dictate to the bank, say charge fee. They rent the premises to the banks. There's a coffee shop there. They rent the premises to them. There are duty-free shop there. They rent the premises to them. So it's the same process. They don't go into the nitty-gritties of the contract. If you bank now, so we provide services. If you go according to the Banking Services Act.
Okay.
It is a health facility be abahonoma or rented, but the airport services must relate to what? The health regulatory authorities.
Okay. Okay.
What went into the 150 service charge?
Okay.
Who sat down to agree to that? How did they arrive at it? Transport Ministry cannot give us that answer. Almost to me, my answer no. That's my position.
Okay. Honorable Mame no wasi, because it looks like it's a health ministry. Nankasa nye aware and no the more as committee, you don't have a problem say transport and sign a contract other than health. Anna.
Transport I tell you say a right contract normal sign.
Okay. Indeed, that's okay with you as committee members, Meboa.
As committee members at that level, but we are still want to know. They say no. EGYASO about saying charging $50. Are they charging the $50?
Yes, I'm gonna charge it from 8th February. But anybody before that, Nina, 150.
150. Very good. So they are not charging $50.
Yes.
There's a proposition there. There must be some rebate to those who are charged 150. What about that?
Omo first can for Martin Pebuaka say omo ma charge omo a friend say 150 ni omo first can say na we are.
I agree with Martin Pebu. Honestly. I agree with him because in COVID times we are not in normal times. You don't make profit or you don't make business out of an unfortunate situation. In fact, I think the government should have stamped its authority. The government should have come in at the private sector and said, no, wait here, Mr. Rowe. Fire corporate social responsibility be. Let's say so my
okay.
Because at that time, no, private labs now a work room, no. How much were they charging? The highest I knew of was 350 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
But this was what? $150. Almost 900 Ghana cedis.
You have a point. On Mame no wase e wo point na we raise no o say be ya yen refund the obi asika ma no on abo agbe e MP e wo Agoti Meziope constituency wo no mo wa flower border no so a obi akwa business e first in constituency pa honorable Mesa any doc Ochoyankra e wo studio hostel
one refund obi and this command because of what test no anya
well yeah but the cost no the cost has changed.
Of course, if you suggest there private sector will provide the solution. On the cost component. Abanwa accept our rent facility Utiaka airport. Now we fix the charge. And I can understand why the charge will not be in agreement. Now yenim the break-even point. When equipment are
no, but that is what he's saying. We need to know the break. This is an emergency situation. If you can charge $50, why charge $150?
Moderna, na AstraZeneca, na Johnson & Johnson, na no one can win. We invest resources. Why? Why don't we ask them to give it to us for free?
What the bill may to Monday.
No. Wait.
AstraZeneca is 20%.
Wait. Oh no, yeah. Gavi project Global Alliance for Vaccination. No, ni COVAX program no. When you World Health Organization, they have procured the vaccines. No one to support certain countries.
Okay.
But I'm talking of the manufacturers who have invested, done R&D.
That's another country.
But that's exactly what this gentleman, my colleague, is suggesting. That Obi aban only the facilities in place to do a certain test for airports.
Which government could have bought?
Now, I want to call all the COVID testing were Noguchi, the no can we have facilities in Ghana for all Groma. Abanoji Biska. People who were tested for COVID.
No.
They all had it for free.
But that's government responsibility to its
provided
citizens.
People with accommodation for free.
So your point is?
So my point is, yes, you can persuade the private sector for ebia why a certain level. Ebia calcra what to equipment na so what basis one what's one cow. So Boshananka Yerebe a watch will be a what's that? Legitimate.
Okay.
Who advertising rates Grammy sure there because of COVID. Who business unit for one rebate be to some of your key customers.
And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So why couldn't they do
Can
it?
there be a compulsion as is being suggested by my friend?
Honorable, because they understand the honorable people are making money off of the challenges of people. People are making money.
What kind of so?
Let's go back to the vetting.
Someone leaking.
Let's go back to the vetting.
I cannot understand.
I made the metase, honorable. I made the metase.
Yeah.
Because if you can charge $50 more, yeah, then all those we have taken $150 from $100 on your kraba. Let's refund it to all those people who have walked through the airport and collected because you know why today. This was a sole source contract.
You see,
they have made money off of everybody who has traveled through the airport. What's the emergency? What's the man uncle saying? No, uncle told you 150.
Now, abandon to escape mana.
No, what about what you escape mana?
No, baby, sir. But that's the only circumstances under which you can even qualify it as a sole source.
Yo, honorable, I will say. You move on to the appointment committee. Doc, you bring back to because honorable Ejapade, so on one can intention from day one.
Appointments committee mo do obo ejuma. One
honorable man can be.
But obo ejuma. Oh no kwani.
Nya MPP for now to them a doc can they are just babysitting the nominees.
Oh,
congratulations, honorable nominee. You have achieved well. If I look at your CV, you have done very well, honorable nominee.
No, your fact.
Honorable nominee, can you share your experience in this area with us?
Enjoy your fact.
Honorable nominee, you successfully implemented. Can you say, are we there to babysit them?
Or your fact.
Or your fact that we should babysit them?
And then the embedded balance be abuma.
Have a balance
in the assessment of the strengths and weaknesses of candidate via abokagat now. And then that's the purpose of the assessment. That the opponent want to bring out your weakness. And so, what party also ought to let Ghanaians know that yes, he may have some weakness, but he has some strength as well.
Doctor Rusu, Doctor, why?
I have a problem.
No, you can't have a problem.
No, man, doctor.
Have you heard?
Oh no, my doctor and son chair na jine.
Not tired them. I can say them. Sometimes. No,
doctor, memo intimidate you. Doctor, state your position without any intimidation. Don't be
intimidate you, doctor.
Honorable. Sometimes I can understand you. You are a politician. Okay. But to you, I said this at the beginning. Say, you share. Say, once the person is in my party. Or some fakwan biya so and motivating and I say money to that I don't agree. On the other hand, nipani ni me party into a kwan biya so as a me fa eguna nimu ase ana me man ho kire no. That is my position.
But I don't
so
see that
if that balance doesn't come,
committee is doing. I don't see it.
Honorable.
There are a few extremes.
Into yahwe nyina yahwe yeti.
Listen, there have been a few instances or extreme.
Yes.
But by and large, both sides have asked.
But no money land there. If you are land there, be a better na say.
You're on fire.
It's on fire. It's on fire.
Me know baby nearby how. Me now call several programs on other stations.
What's in the boy?
And then boy, hey, honorable David. Oh, indeed, on a more serious note, or say a man of mine who don't know a I understand it do baby, you bet me a call to the extreme. But am I in your preconceived mind? They say, an American, who be some 10 times making the same thing. Me qui, as soon as you are quatrain pa. Yekwaya assessment abema oman ni nyina benya so mfa so ebedu baabi yebeka se asome se die oyaya enipa nanso yehwe adwuma ontumi nye eno nkyere se nipa ne betumi aya kyenkyena yenyi ni nsenkyɛn ana enkyere so se nipa ne ntumi nya kyenkyena ya mane nkoya adwuma no because ministers ni bi ko he enna me kokan ya yedi matam wo social media bebre obi oho a wantwa number me wa ebi mu so o mo ya adwuma ma under no circumstance na abeka sa asomasi die anka yenyi ni nsinchen omo ye adwuma no omo nyuma wo ha e kire so omo ye adwuma so enti se ahyase no ye nyi ye yam na ya mfa adwene fan anka se ye hwe nipa on betumi aye adwuma ma oman no ye kwa isi leadership is not just rhetoric say me ye minister pen my ye minister pen okotena ho no then now the ba ye soronko I man near my society because see when you do the same thing all the time you get the same results Ghana so you say results na was is ya no emwa me ntumpon yes sir nti ye pe nipa bia omo ba no ma be sakra niamam kakra me aka se asumasi ba haidie asumasi course a ministry we die eniama sesan tama amewu ewo the first ministry friends Lance na obia could attest say the man was on top of his job enti se nipan obi wo hwa so ahun enhyeda mfa ho ne background say oye adwuma ha na wanya adwuma ha ye nkofo pia na po so wanya education ba bia so at least obono ho modern e education ministry enti se nipa ni bi wo ha leadership no e wo ho on say there's a difference between leadership and management some of them just go and manage but you are expected to go and lead. A leader works from the heart. You think outside the box na you can no and yes you can no keke. Oh minister sorry I know about office oh ni ya bie do amount na so police ni ama proceed no bosome so akwadwo akatua no and then na wo ba be ye ama oman no ye nya so mfa so say ye bokau ya mokau sometimes you don't even think of the cost now share benefit na e bana ye nyina every be fimpo say
and I don't name a question to you say o share adwuma vetting committee appointment committee o maye over the years sa transformational agenda ye hia so man Ghana ye nkoyanim hwe de China fo aduro hwe de Malaysia fo aduro hwe UAE Dubai fo yi ananu ya o musi mu o mkra de o nya Ghana class me hwe de o maduro yenso ya tena vetting committee ni appointment committee bro for kese ni aka koti and so the team one yet and no so e be solve a problem ana are we getting value for money the here omo abano eno ne yebusa o na
ono abokura yi ano at the beginning say obi o kura oba ontumi nkasa yie nso de adwuma ne hye ne sa obetumi aye obi so be kasa wa kambrofo ne bebre nso okota ministry ho a yehu sebe baby a odi fi na ne baby a odi ko enti memum de me hwe se anka sometimes yam hwe nipa no edu baby na wa ye adwuma 1 year kura see hwe ball na obi akọ mahu football match edu obi call field ne so 30 minutes na coach ni san yi ni film se dia me ka se koye na nya na wo ye enya chinchina chance nipa na bi a o ye yi na ye gu party no fi na gu aban no ho fi no ndi se nipa no ye hwe ye de na koto baby a sensitive na omo number. Do we have a structure and as a system? Be me who say etina na me di papa hu ya me I Santa I don't want to sound personal. Former minister for monitoring and evaluation. Ano ye na dwuma yi a kebe hu say hane hade we are okay.
Was he given the power and the resources?
I don't see another question.
Office kra na on share any be papa.
No na make ya dey tina yanko ade adwuma no ya ma metumi nya adwuma na fa adwuma no to he. Na otena hwa na wakase ya ama mehwe ya ama hwe na oji akatua eno de menyi ntum
okay
ya ama hwe no na oji akatua
okay
enti se yetumi ehwe ya vet na wie vet ne de just a process a ebia na yetumi anya niema ni a ye hia ni nyina ne mum nipa no guso ye adwuma no kwan be ne ye fa so ebeka se asomasi o ye adwuma ye nhye ne kuran ye ma ne ohia asomasi we die enkoyie on se Ghana na niema bi kan ye yedin adwuma no minhu so kra mpese mi gya na afa ne ye be fra bi sa se he won kwa na onim nyansa tena ho o rezana akotena he nipa he kra na rezan ya ye gya om se ampa wa rezan onko na ye nsa nya the opportunity say president ayi obi adi then no ye ya se bia wanye ne ye ntia president ayi na fi ho na enu nti ye gyina so aka se ne oba no enu so ye behwe e de aye susu dua se ye behwe se adwuma no obeye ne ye ana onye ne ye
okay
so nti as a man. And that's where sometimes I fought Parliament as an institution because of more the oversight responsibility. And yes, I bet in you which some year Jenny Panaco Trao in Vienna. So be uncle Bisa, a be a question. I'm a young friend Panama. I see also move here oversight responsibility. Until Jumane, the Asha Minister, and because until more committees, no. So Swampa and committee, no
committee, Government Assurances Committee, Honorable Messrs. Our committee in our Parliament still. Omuye Juma still. Oh yeah, sure so Omuye Juma. Nti ade na we ministries bebre at said the honorable dog keka no evaluation Ejuma no mo monitor ejuma no.
Parliament approve budget. Ebi okra, look at the work they go through.
You see,
no ma subcommittee ya via ye nina ya dwuma ya wi asi ya approve ya discana mo. When na hwese sika no afia ba so abeji $1 million or the kosi classroom yesi ana yensi.
Government assurance committee no, that's what they are supposed to do.
So
that committee no, that's what they are supposed to do.
If you ejuma committees why
so yeah, can specific government assurances committee.
Unknown shred there. A symptom. No, let's not.
How far have they done it? How many citizens know that there's a government assurance committee?
You ought to appreciate that. Within a Juma Wayano, there are some constraints. Honestly, now continuously, or they reform any institutions so that we too will perform effectively. In Tebekea, very recently, Parliament has taken steps to even review
standing orders.
All with the view to improving the efficiencies.
Yeah, but honorable.
What a perfect job. Okay. But I cannot sit here and let it be said that what's not how engage maybe.
Okay.
It is not true.
Well, nobody has said so.
So maybe that may be the impression.
Yes, see, that is the job of the government assurances committee.
And
we are not getting enough.
Yes, I agree.
From Parliament.
No, no problem.
Yes.
But there are constraints, including constitutional.
For instance,
of course, if you have a constitution that enjoins the president to appoint more than half of his ministers from Parliament, you have issues. I can understand that at the time, the young framers wanted to blend the straight executive with the parliamentary system what practice in UK and some other places where ministers of state are necessarily, including the prime minister himself, are all members of parliament. There are benefits to that. Now the situation is partial American where we have an executive presidency but we have a mixture of ministers and members of parliament, okay, who form part of the executive and also part of the legislation. And see, we need to find ways to reform the system so that we can generate more from the institutions.
Well said. Honorable, where will it start?
I don't have any problem at all. But of course, we all operate within a certain legal regime.
But if performance
there are constitutional injunctions.
Appointment committee. Honorable members, over the years, the appointment committee, first no more appointment public accounts, chaired by everyday BOB from the minority. Over the years, even to the point of moving it to live broadcast on TV to engage citizenry. Even look at appointment committee no crowd. Engaging on man for memorandum for letters near Debra. Sasana government assurances committee here. And can even questions our appointment committee ni put it to some of the ministers or assess it.
Mandate of the
government assurance committee no. Because in Kabema appointment committee na Juma kra ayemre. Because before Medu they would have assessed some of the ministers no ni omo portfolios no a omo yemo adwuma. Until there's a document that appointment committee can refer to say by this report of the government assurance committee, ministry not performing, ministry not performing, ministry not performing average. Where there nominee ni bekono obe sing it, and there's very little. I have to congratulate a minority for no. Omo mom no etumi kwa echire ekwa check no na mam o point and doc. Very important.
Yes, besides Susuan pass almost so bad power. Would they do the same?
Normally that's what they do. Me when I was in parliament, say NDC for beba. NDC MPs no more appointment committees and they treat them with kid love. Now people for Busom Edania the same kojo. The same kojo. Scratch my back and scratch yours.
Not necessarily that. Okay. The Committee on Government Assurance. Order 74, 174.
Okay.
Also, there shall be a committee on government assurances, which shall consist of not more than 25 members. It shall be the duty of the committee to pursue all assurances, promises, undertakings given by ministers from time to time. It shall also be the function of the committee to report to the House on the extent to which such assurances have been fulfilled. So their mandate is limited in terms of statements and commitments that people make. But up on budget performance, no one can hold government programs execution. The specific parliamentary committees are oversight over that sector.
Yeah.
Are the ones who are responsible.
Yes, and
they do their work. I've served on the communications committee for the past term in parliament. It's Sam George all the time. He is a member of the committee, ABA Fuzeni, ranking member. They do their work. All the committees are great. Education, the friend is CCI, health committee, it's a candor, and all those, they do their work. It was all, but of course, I'm saying, I would admit that we can improve. Make it look as if to say everything is okay. That Parliament is a perfect institution. No, there are challenges. We all have to work together to find ways to improve the system and the workings of Parliament so that we can generate more from that institution as a country. No doubt at all, but let it not be made to seem as if to say that specific committee will do maybe other way. For some reason, they don't do it. Honestly,
okay. So generally, the whole day you are still standing by the fact that appointment committee in Edgeman is still relevant even after all these years.
Of course, I can say it's relevant, okay. But yam more homework say you be improve. Na ankoye say ya na da bia ye no. Say na da bia na ende na oman sabi enkonya so mfa so. Tere bia yemfa ye party no tonchen kakra na yema oman ho do na eni anim. Because see the individuals are oma besom do ba bia say asumasi die na mrei or tell so at least about 2 ministers din so a black one or ya den sapon and this minister of Ashanti region MPP for were also praising him. So you want to see more of such.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay,
so let's move beyond.
Oh, sure. Napoya then Educhum was fantastic. Educhum was fantastic. Very, very good. Minister is here for education. No? New one. No? Educhum, he was deputy. He is now the substantive. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was
substantive minister, isn't
so he's a nominee for substantive ministry. Educhum.
Yeah.
He's now education. And Napo is going to
Dami did well.
Dami did well. In fact, I see I've just heard a year you any there no. As a Subache also substantive minister designate for works and housing. Almost say no crowd the further details about for even the rent issue frontier for the no any other or the further and better details about in Chechemo. But then the earlier people no also didn't do justice to the issue because this is a matter that I doubt to say Oman discuss with a cabinet.
And now questions be
in our cabinet. Everybody has the answer.
Ubika say ebia onim ho anu ya. Na mentia say ebi o ha na esese wa ankasa utumi hu se we de tony issue ana bibia ya ka ho asem niam a mankofo adwen yom kesene ne nti mimmisam ana mempe hu wa bi ansa na mako.
Okay.
So
okay. But I told the so doc there's also politics behind it. Everyone ma win pa. But because your portfolio unti unim na ko kan bebre the person who is directly responsible for some ministry, you know.
Politics in there, you see, there's nothing wrong with politics. But Mahatma Gandhi can say the 7 deadly sins. Ubet politics no. But say never be a bata hono enye no. Oye ka ho dia. Politics without principle. You should be principled. So say ya nya ne sa de ne ka say oh we minua enye hwe we die oh asumasi. Ye make sure say be yin afrim. Se nipa ne ye papa kora eno yakobo yitrim po say ye nyin mfrim. E ba ne sa de na ya more man.
Okay. Honorable Mesa, do you see say sometimes when on your more house on I ask how we say means nko so we nye nipa on free parliament we do outsider for instance Ajinapo or Ajinapo crowd afraid they obey member of parliament. Doc Matthew say you obi to say asenso omu nyina mo be members of parliament but omu be members of parliament say nominee bi ba no ya outsider na mu mia no say we dey mia no Because they've said it for somebody like Adwasa for say Adwasa for
the also if you are oman no enipa ni bi oman no one say sometimes I say kasade e ma bato nipa ni bi wo ha oman no na de omo konso hwem bi wo ha sene obesi aka na asem on say there's a difference being assertive and being proud. There's a vast difference.
Okay.
Obi all to me say adwuma na oye onim otiase the courage is there, the charisma is there, and even the knowledge base onim, but a kwanya on fa so be kan wasem your disposition ne kwa na be mo obi aka say asomasi oh enti anyway
umbese obebuwedi ebi aba o mai sa o
say context they be use ways and means na explanation they me yeah a little
two different things. Okay, for instance what
of course I mean the ways and means be akodo for parliament then mom minim there odu baby a because of the knowledge and our familiarity yani nkofu bi wo particularly if you are in leadership of parliament the volume of work na no one can no it gives people an opportunity to assess you firsthand and if that person oba veteran conventionally we know your value, we know your work, we know the work that you can do.
Nti mo shada mo nye ne gidigidi bia.
But and of course, obiso awa ba bia anyim. One thing is in crowd baby other. We need to make sure that you find out exactly what it is that you are made of. That obviously on your ways and means.
Okay.
Nti
but my arrogant kada watch is cow around and
well minim and Muntum confirm.
Have you sat on the appointment committee before?
Muntum appointment committee before.
Okay.
But I have friends who are on the appointment committee.
Okay.
Obi aso nkan tramusuda.
What the bibia aba
what the sikabia bra. But then sometimes mistake we confuse some of the issues that we can hear orientation.
I'm also work Adana.
Yes. I can have more transport. Fuel at the bay. Of course, Parliament will provide work.
And Parliament for why would you transporter? And
then you are driving from here to Adan. Why? Every petrol and pump.
As a member of Parliament, and
where do you know on your hilly?
I didn't work
you don't. They shouldn't facilitate the work that you do.
Okay, it's facilitation.
So if they give you allowance for transport, because MPs will be more petrol, petrol.
Okay.
And the expectation is that you move from your constituency to Accra. In fact, you break be on the back to Ufia. They provide you transport to go back home.
Okay.
That's why they provide accommodation by way of rent allowances.
Okay.
So,
but then nobody watch you.
So if they give you that, committees, what call meetings, what call seminars, what call programs,
and they pay
committee allowances, some kinds of money. So it doesn't even amount to much. Or sometimes when people drive a grand allowance or grand orders because they probably paid your hotel bill. Who drivers want money hotel so. The allowance that they will give to you. These kinds of things are done.
Okay.
Does that amount to waste and means?
I'm a menu committee. We are just asking because of Ayarigana some more
allegations now. 2017, if I remember. Mama Ayariga will make you know. Nankasa went to improve.
Yeah.
And see, I don't even know why it has to come up now.
Okay. Because it has to come up. Honorable. Before I go on Dr. Bemba, before then, honorable, excavators now answer what the mayor. Are you okay with it? Because I will takwa the way I'm saying no takwa na boss na I don't know why.
Maybe I mean say
Abuja na pone de na.
Means of course. I mean I was in and out.
Okay. But do you know where the excavators are? Oh, you are part of, as a defendant and another MPP. Do you know where they are?
Madina.
The excavators in Bigu Madina.
Yeah. Environment.
I see.
Professor Frimpong Boateng gave an answer
about the excavators.
Absolutely.
That's our
that look, yes, we sees excavators be from the mining sites.
500.
Matter of fact, remember, and that they put those excavators in the custody of auctioneer B and some other pieces. Now they are doing an audit and they realize that some of the excavators cannot be traced. Okay. They are working to find out where those excavators are.
They are now working.
Update as we speak.
Okay.
And maintain Abu
no
response.
Abu so only 500. Now it was just hyped by the media.
I won't be surprised.
200 and something. They have accounted for 160 something, but it's 48. Why you?
Surprised undo 500 because you see, do you know 500 excavators?
A crew person. But it doesn't mean that it cannot get missing. Honorable. It doesn't mean that also onto me.
Oh, Nanche, Obi Botum will divert be on the cash farm be and so that's why the audit process has identified that so the 48 in the CCA. I still insist, and it will be legitimate to ask that look, by all means, some coffin walk a fair fee, but walk a fair fee in what the bay. Until let's follow up with those people to ensure that they account for those.
Okay, one of the auctioneer what the man or one was the man on your own when you pa.
Like a better come on, what don't come on anymore. Not maybe so awesome.
Honorable.
Are they not original mining people there? Honorable, that be honorable. Honorable, Messiah, the man yet. Because you are putting politics ahead of everything.
Remember. Individual now what the excavators man had a license to operate an auction business.
Okay.
Say illegal item be as a Caesar. It has to be put on sale. That's the law.
And who should be given the first option?
The person who has committed the illegal activity. Is that what you are seeking to suggest?
Oh no.
No, maybe so.
Illegal activity.
Oh,
no one what excavators want to come and for the one year mining. No, on illegal activity.
Justify BBO. Mean justify whether the sale or diversion as in 48 or one who know is right.
Okay.
No, far from that. My only retort was to that one, and when I won him what the man, and that one, why if the person has a legitimate enterprise not carry out no MPP no that man so really big deal. So one come and this now. That's the only retort that I have. But relative to accountability, many problem.
But it's been quite too long.
I agree.
The excavators 48 were you about 2-3 years.
Yes.
Until today.
It's a legitimate question. I mean, I don't quarrel with questions that are
especially giving Macy my president elevated
yeah, you see, when the president even put his presidency on the line
for
it's a Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation. The quality level of the water that has improved
because your collection because honorable Mesa to be fair your collection no nye ko ewuzimu na the scandal that broke so government backed out on galamsey as in what jing cover excavators what the man other people supposedly MP people that won't go mining so that is why the water has increased. I mean people will argue that this fight against galamsey
no improvement on the water quality.
As a result of what? There's a process leading to that.
Fight against galamsey.
Was it a genuine fight? Bodies. Was it a genuine fight?
Why was it not a genuine fight? Look, there were hiccups. I agree. Mankara is perfect. But what was not genuine about the fight?
Okay.
The fact that a few miscreants did some things that went untoward.
Who have to be punished.
I agree with you 100%.
And you have removed your minister. Onupoye Antasi. Nobody gave us an explanation why.
And I just said to remove the explanation.
And Ghana for the Abama president.
And I got a photo of a man, one mandate there. No, I exercise executive power in taking decisions on our behalf.
And why is it
every day? Not every day, referendum.
Okay. I mean, I COVID, I obey a fellow Ghanaians.
No, but
if it's not responsible to us.
This is a pandemic.
Yata say, Doc, come on, some no nobody. On our way, 1 minute.
So also a politician. What can't anyway, me the power by another honorable. This is my Dina Mehano.
Honorable Mesa.
Anyway, or
that would be well, and you are done for crap, but the person just likes you. I was a US Maryland, Mr. Piano say. Catch your honorable Mesa say I say hi. Because the way honorable Mesa even said, if you it just freaks him out.
Maybe an observation. President they are appointing Obasisa police for soldier for paying for nyina there ebehunyam kakra. Yenye careful. See we are getting to a point police form paying for no say no munyina kura dodo na enkwara nim say assume say there or support to party way assume support but yeah, let us be very careful and can security agencies no let's be careful say president betie dia say ja president now say let's be citizens media madwin na mechere in an instance where the president appoints a board and appoints the chief executive and more media I teach governance corporate governance say obi a board member no say board no kra I'm already a member of the board but your board na appointed me it do be a control a problem say president be here anka on the appointed board no na board na any chief executives no
that's how it's supposed to be
but yes na tie organa ha
not in all cases but in some cases
enti babia president appointed chief executives no emwa control purposes checks ni ade na emwa na again back to the topic for today the vetting no some people if not all of us should not learn humility through humiliation. Some people should not learn humility through humiliation.
AFIA
manuato. Honorable Mesa or a lawyer, Missy Minim no pa, Asma Mekan or Tiasia. If you are my
now, Boko and Masseno,
Obacona, you go and Marcia, and son, what brow was a more.
But so far, betting you go be in Massy.
Doc,
Honorable,
I agree with you in part. Sometimes,
if you meet me, I said,
2 seconds, a chain I happen.
Oh, maybe I'm more one.
Don't worry, 2 minutes. I know you are in part. Sometimes, no, yen politics, no, it gets overly passionate. And of force, who may concern be maybe on hindsight, in you and say, if you go to a forum like Vetting, now we're confronted with some be arising out of a certain passionate
comment.
Then, having reflected, no, you are want to admit that yes, on hindsight, and can you? It may not necessarily be a ubiquitous nature. There, oye, ahomomado, another on ye humble. Osande, yeah. Some use Mamu as an example. Things that have been said
about you.
Yes. That's complete untruth. In an attempt to defend yourself, you may go overboard and react in a certain manner. May not be palatable. It may not be your nature, your character, because I'm a very easygoing person. But sometimes Charlie, integrity is on the line.
Yeah. You have to fight back.
And so I guess that if say yes, in that context, and that's where I find a little bit of difficulty with the appointments committee, that the impression that is created is that, look, okay, you said some things, now you are here.
We are dealing with you.
We will deal with you. That's where I have a little bit of difficulty.
And it's in the glare of the public. Some
of the issues are
personal.
Intended to settle scores.
Yeah.
That's the sense that I get with some. And so,
I mean, for
bygones be bygones.
Today, you said this about,
and then move on.
But today, Doc, honorable, I think it will do the nominees a good. They say
2 days ago, said 3 days, no, Monday, and I mean, yes, I'm meeting few Asampa. I was excited when he suggested that Nkofubi only the work can some against
other people,
especially seniors
of His Excellency the President.
Sheshe ni de nana de Chachukata.
Chachu, I agree. Because opening Chachukata minimum on your fraba. But say a bit under the suggestion here make is it supposed to be applied across board?
Across board, yeah.
Also no.
Oh.
If he's speaking politics, so question is how, at what point they begin to introduce that level of sanity?
Yeah, in our conversation.
In young conversation, look, I know very decent, strong, knowledgeable young Ghanaians who just simply frown on being participants in this political process.
It's true because of
some kekano. Yeah. It's important that we begin to have a conversation about how we conduct, because after all, look, I am from one party crowd, about to visit a guest or opposition for. Because they are thankful.
You see, again, that's why I have a problem. Honorable, that's why I have a problem with you, not as a person, but with you, the politicians. You portray a picture out there.
No, but
remember, you portray a picture out there that, hey, there's a clear difference. Where, somebody even advocated that Mami Yanka opposition. Yanka, they be a minority.
Well,
the contest, are we enemies after all?
No,
you admit you have friends.
One of my very good friends.
But we are enemies.
Exactly.
And all that.
Have a problem.
Again, I only leave you with Mahatma Gandhi. Politics without principle. He says it's a deadly sin. Just like you gave an example. If I'm going to say, when it comes to respecting President Akufo-Addo, he's the sitting president. How many of us can ever become president, even in our generation? So for me, I advocate that let's respect the presidency.
Exactly.
So I don't say remember.
Because he epitomizes.
Remember, we are speaking the same language. I will not say President Akufo-Addo. Then I say John Mahama. I will not say His Excellency John Mahama and then say Akufo-Addo. And this is what is happening in this country. So let us be principled. There, Sebi, any platform about the program then I just close my eyes there, make it come and those kind of things. We should not encourage them. And I expect that, and when I am paying for then especially young ones now, train them, guide them, scold them where they need be.
They will not listen.
Scold them.
Doctor, say unim.
Because I the mobile baby, you have admitted here there are people who otherwise into what my politics why when you walk on but they will not even venture. Hey, I won't even try. When I just made a suggestion that blah 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 blah, and then somebody called me, have you read what I said? I won't read. It's when I read that it becomes an insult. The president of Ghana says we should be citizens.
not spectators.
I only made a suggestion. I did my own assessment. And I thank God that I said 5 ministers, former ministers,
and all of them have been
should not be reappointed. 3 weeks later, it came up that none of them was reappointed. I was only sharing my views. Then, so at what point are we going to contribute to national discourse?
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
If you have made that say,
Patricia said that's a dog.
What's
Obey ye. Honorable Massa, the way I asked him, the way we release one. Major 9:31. Indeed, by 10 you are not at home. Pocho is on you. It's not me.
If you're
just was a fun out here. Oh, okay. My set the time, Mamo, and coffee in your case. My set the timetable now, but drive is speed. Nah, drive is speed. Honorable Messa, yeah, second day. Mashebe Jenny or the money about teaching come off our veteran honor. Juliana Belinda of Ofoyosi veteran was exposed MPP big time. They have just wasted our taxes. George and son, and I say, why do you allow this MPP man to bring his own agenda to your studio? It wasn't how can I to cry? Messa the Obasa or certain question on one answer question. Godfrey Dable was say Godfrey Dame 6 hours 6 minutes. Solid man pa August I like you know so your twin I say you do all and Juliana for Juliana ma send my kind of message Kennedy ya boa and I say you do all them lady no partner on a good job and a production team no my no Evans Gibbon no see the use of pandemic to do corruption. Honorable Messa do be defend this but also Japadi COVID-19 trust fund nyina politicians they are not good though and Tasha constitution we are more say was say who will legalize LGBT Ghana President Akufo-Addo dey pass okoklosi omo office no na LGBT there if their parents were even in that devilish act on komo akasa nkombe kasetia no omo just so omo awofo koye LGBT ni bia enke wo omo ba wiase ana ankama Sulemana was even lady mo Italy and I meet you no good job ankama so wutie ye na eje very man or say MPP ni NDC leaders ni na omo ye professional o de oman no omo born from also UK and na all share na ankama was the message about Ali Nuru no see if ya yetio pa ko anim Juliana was the message we say abba and Dr. down below was say Dr. down below me will bring so ewa apausika na media it is very good pass Ghana any LGBTI for no you know mo this evil agenda by the West no emwa yet ye krom wanum say worry bebre mo say nye mo recognize it afede mo akwakoso aso obi mewari obema wari obema oban wari what is happening was it if the president says it is bound to happen the ebesi any name the president should stop it immediately na Ghana for nyina hu say the president is not part of this whole thing Richard Kwaku Samnos oh my god e dey nkra na to say Ghana no koso e wo hanum say ya chese bibia AC commensa pillar 2 no say excellence na Nana Akufo-Addo already no reject homosexuality ni sa LGBT no enti the also antiase no utumi kwahyepo ya reject ya mam kwan and Emmanuel Anyano was he watching from Qatar was he if you am nkoso na munye adwuma we enjoying it Helena Yani no say we love you Vim Lady ne production team na Francis John Fia Kujo does say I'll be the first person to receive the vaccine if opportunity ne ba me will present huni valley person me jepa was if you good job now we say no to homosexuality and praise Joseph Kakari was good job Vim Lady opoku mensa no say if you don't have money and it's not an emergency don't travel period me to kwan uya ama me ka che say ajo 150 and so ka say and EFS opoku mensa opoku maka udie no ka say was Vim Lady over here in the UK so who to kwan ya you bejo 120 pounds. They are using this to restrict people from moving. Into wow pe utu kwan near jo $150 mo bian be complaining catch agbebe mayin. Piaga no good job Vim Lady. We can't operate LGBT in Ghana. Mon can't president. Na president na kasa said what to office mu no. O hu de obe no ho. Kingsley Ken no say Japan Mesa is doing all this. The ministerial appointment among deputy enuti no hoye san. Sir. And na Rico di Kwashi was it this MP pa Japan de oba politics and kwa and obeye. For Nicholas no see Vim Lady, I'm enjoying the show. Keep the fire burning. Philip Edue champion. If ya don't do the bidding of NDC for Omune Japan. Or my rejected from beginning. Men do what you asking. Esiama Ebenezer no say Japade, note that Ghana is not your private property. Is the party your party is just a caretaker of Ghanaians. So Ghanaians deserve a right to know. What's to stop the arrogance? Catch a Japama me read you some message which a Japama me. Imano ayano maka message was and be abana David McLipson Smith. Also, so how long are you going to continue to use our airwaves to discuss this issue without putting measures in place? Parliamentarian CSOs munyina mo kebi. Nanso obi enu one ma oye bi ebetimi aboa na akọ nanimo say researching on it is the best way to do this. Moving what honorable tete ya also ochiao na Kwisi Sam also good evening vim lady. Japade oba say ya me ni nechi. Evans my kind messages in our sign e dey about so elembele and our share no. Thank you so much na K chef. Was even I like you pa say the one my LGBT for na mejo one but most of the media houses discussing LGBT. Yes and e more chance cry men discuss your cry mo menya fans. And David McLipson, my kind of was a good job him lady me show from Yokoko. My regards and come honorable Yao Teddy MP for Ayensuano constituency catch and say a channel pa we appreciate the Juma ya or yen to uncle ana uncle so non consunya Juma no or yen no POKUAA my kind of messages way and I was ofori for your message I would buy you know for it no say if you good job na mo man enjoying the discussion and there mo de aba na mo follow up me enya say ye ne saa na eja ho e follow up so that e be hu asem ne say de be kwa kosi especially omo ba vetting committee na animu a omo be keka omo nsem ne say mo follow up e betimi aboa opa ma na ame ye hu the end of some of the issues are omo raising. Ankama wona also ofrefi Italy ni yeda se ofrefi Italy a odo message na ba congratulations and koma asenso boachi abugina Paul honorable friend saying Amewu is the only person waiting me win seat our voter region ama MPP4 because omuche mu no first time MPP4 one seat our OT region but omuche mu na Amewu is the and hohoi MPP4 fa hohoi da but this time Amewu has won the seat for MPP4 this is very good ebusia for ya the basianum say you can see about 90 and then ako echekaka I just needed to read your messages you fancy and na say so we share GYASO my live on OK 101.7 FM I said that can come production team no here Isaac also do me and akojo damado kojo Hansen any fema bankro nya nakopon ya adoma next week Monday be shaba Friday mensha ewo emrane sesen ewo TV so Saturday live and colored anopa ewo UTV so 8 o'clock ekosi 11 ye be share ewo critical issues ne bie ensem ne go ye transformational leadership e brofo ne aka Ghana sa from 1957 agi independence hwede nkroma nko abeye ya be nyina e champion crowd be operation feed yourself enso na no brofo crowd nko ba bia enso hwe besi ne countries bebre ne o start e Korea China, Malaysia, Singapore, Mukoja, yeah, the brofu. Where are the transformational leaders? Yabaka wants it because beyond the vetting, we must talk about bread and butter issues. Yeah, the beyond here cost ne akosre bo, ya kosre bosiani, akosre vaccine, ya kosre bibia draws Ukraine, ya kosre. We will discuss that issue on critical issues Saturday at UTV. Anyway, if I'm a vim lady, a fair podcast, that your audience will see a discussion at the mind. That's
so na makofa pro so ko ya no ba ye de tro Parliamentary for no